driving me crazy to think you might not be my lady, but that would change, see. You can be the one that changes me, cause girl, you're amazing, and you never failed to amaze me. And I wait patiently, yes, I'll wait for you, chillin'.
So Ady, this moment is especially special to me because I have been trying to track you down for quite a while now. So now I got you here, I'm just like, yes, he's here. So I'm sitting here with the dopest of dope, the freshest of freshest artist, Ady Suleiman.
Hello, everyone.
Woo! So welcome. So Ady, you are literally just turning the UK music scene on its head right now.
Oh,
mean, you with your extremely fresh sound. I mean, you are one of the most unique artists arriving in the UK right now. I mean, with everything you've got going on, you're a singer-songwriter, and can I just say, you're kind of like I think you're a good representative for the wave of just kind of cool, fun, edgy people. Like, that's how I see you. You're very down with it. You're very cool. You're very free-spirited.
You
take that?
Yeah, I'll take that.
No, but definitely, like, that's how I see you, and I think you're doing really well for yourself. So,
thank you very much.
As you are turning the UK music scene on its head, we're going to talk about your fresh sound, and what you have is your fresh music. So let's get into it. So I've left out what kind of style it is that you do, because I think you're kind of like a bit of everything. It's hard to pinpoint. So you can tell us what style you do.
No, I think I completely agree with you. I think I think nowadays, because we can consume music in so many different ways, and it's not always how you find or discover music or listen to music is through radio. You have, you got Spotify, and obviously, the internet. You can kind of listen to everything, and everything's kind of at your fingertips. So it's difficult for not difficult, but I think people growing up our age, and especially younger generations, don't necessarily have like a genre of music that like represents a whole generation. Do you know what I mean? So therefore, you've got kids that listen to a bit of everything. I ask my mates, what do you listen to? It's this, it's that, it's hip hop, it's rap, it's rap, it's rock, it's whatever. So it's the same with me. When I was growing up, I didn't explicitly was stuck in one scene or listen to kind of one genre of music. So
what would you say you are? If someone asks, for people that are just encountering you, what style of music would you say you are?
I would say that it is a blend of R&B, reggae, soul, hip hop, pop. I don't know, whatever you want to say. But no, I'm heavily influenced by reggae, blues, jazz.
Okay, fab.
Soul, hip hop, all that kind of stuff.
Well, Ady, today I want to take us on an Ady Suleiman life train journey. So we're going to go through all the different stops and kind of just work out how it is that you became so fab.
Sure.
So seeing as you are a train driver, I have a train driver's hat.
Oh, yes.
So this is for you, so you can get into the, the train driver mode.
Do my fresh pinch.
Yeah.
Kind of rock it backwards a bit.
That looks very, very cool. Love that. Right, okay, so we are on the Ady Suleiman life train journey, people. So here we go. First stop is, where did it all begin? Where were you brought up? And when did music first come into your life?
Okay. Difficult question, because at the beginning there's still, a load of points. So I'm from a really small village just outside Nottingham, in Nottinghamshire, called Long Benetton. And music has always kind of been around because, essentially I'm a singer, and you're born with your voice, you sing. So whenever I jump in the shower, I'd start singing. Or even as a kid, I got two sisters, and they're both really creative people. We'll go on holidays and whatever, put on little shows and, play Stars in Your Eyes and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't really start thinking about music or becoming a hobby till I was about 13.
Okay.
And that was because of, I think it's because basically, or before that, primary school, all I'd listen to music-wise would be Top of the Pops. That's the only music I could kind of hear or see or anything.
Those are the days.
Yeah, for sure. And then I was on a school bus to school, and my mate played me a Marilyn Manson track, and Marilyn Manson was current right at the time. He was out, but he wasn't on Top of the. I hadn't seen him on Top of the Pops, and I was really confused. I was like, "What? This isn't old music. Like, it's not on Top of the Pops. Like, how did you find it? Like, where did you come across it?" And he was like, "Oh, mate, there's this thing called LimeWire. I don't know if you heard of that or remember that."
Yes, I remember LimeWire.
So
I was a big user of it.
Exactly right. He started telling me about LimeWire. I'm like, "Yo, this sounds mad." And also the concept, to be fair, that there was other music out there that wasn't just in Top of the Pops and wasn't ridiculously old. It was like bizarre to me at that age. I didn't know it existed. So I started getting fascinated with finding out kind of new music that no one else had heard of, that wasn't really current and that, and I've got into through Marlon Manson. I got into like really heavy metal stuff, and I was listening to like Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, all that kind of stuff, and became really obsessed with the electric guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Through being obsessed with the electric guitar, I asked my dad who's the best, the greatest electric guitar player. He's like Jimi Hendrix. So I was like, can you buy me a CD? He's like, yeah, of course. Like, he's a DJ, my dad, so he's getting quite excited. He's getting into kind of good music.
He must still remember that moment, I'm sure.
So anyway, he bought me a CD and put it on the CD player. He's proper buzzing. He's there playing it to me, and I hated it. The first time I listened to it, I didn't understand it.
Okay. It
was like too psychedelic. I went to hear like some shreddy kind of guitar riffs or whatever, and this guy's doing, I don't know, some psychedelic stuff, and I just didn't get it. And so I didn't listen to the CD again for like another 3 weeks, whatever it was, until I went on a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Went on a family holiday, and I took my Walkman, and I had to choose one CD that I'd take. I think I ended up choosing like Big Willie style, Will Smith or whatever, but I put the Jimi Hendrix CD in the case without realising, didn't check it. So I took this CD away with me and opened it up on the plane, and I'm pissed off. I see Jimi Hendrix Greatest Hits there. I'm like, for fuck's sake, I got to listen to this. And but I put it on my Walkman, and after like 4 or 5 kind of listens, whatever, it suddenly got me. And it was a song called Little Wing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just weird. Like
So that's how you it was
the first time I got the emotion of Jimi Hendrix and music, and then because of that, I went and listened back to the whole of the record, and it just, because I understood it, I then became obsessed.
Okay.
Because it was like it was like it wasn't easy to get. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it was like I felt clever. That I don't know. I felt like weird that I understood this kind of complex music to me at the time.
Okay, and that's how it all began.
That's when I started, being obsessed with music for sure.
Fabulous. Okay, so second stop.
That was a long stop.
No, don't worry. Sometimes the train's delayed as well.
Yeah, I've got a few minutes delay on that one. Sure.
No, I love it. Okay, so second stop. Now I want to talk to you about LIPA University, because that's where I first heard you through going to LIPA. Now, LIPA is home to one of the fabulous artists. You've got singers, producers, songwriters, actors, you've got everything. And I want to know the secrets of LIPA. So what went down? Because I know it's not like a High School Musical thing, or is it a High School Musical thing? It's not really, because you're in such a creative environment.
You're right.
So how do you think that kind of helped you as an artist?
It's really important, really important, because and it's not saying that you have to go to these places, Brit School, LIPA, to be successful, but it's important to be around people that are like-minded and want to do the same things, similar things to you, just so you can vibe with them and learn off them. And also
it's probably very motivational.
Yeah, 100%, because for me, coming from this small village in a small town, even though Nottingham was a city, I'd never thought to gig over there. Do you know what I mean? So where I'm actually growing up and stuff, no one really plays music that much. Like, there's not a scene there. There's not another singer that's doing slightly soulful stuff. Do you know what I mean? So there's no one for me to vibe off or even compare myself to.
Mm-hmm.
And when I ended up going to LIPA, obviously you've got other people that are exactly the same as you. And it was the first time I kind of didn't feel stupid saying, I want to be a recording artist and sell records all over the world. Like, before, I kind of kept that on the hush. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I went there, everyone else was the same. So I was like, yeah, I want to do it too, man.
You're like, yeah, come on, let's go.
And also, it was like, I'm a kind of competitive person. So it was interesting for me to kind of see my peers and competition and be able to judge myself and be like, is it realistic? Because before that, even though people would say, oh, you're a really good singer, man, you're really good, I had no confidence whatsoever, because I was like, of course you're saying that, because no one else around me is singing. Do you know what I mean? And when I went to LIPA, I was proper nervous for it, because I thought, there's no way I'm going to be at the standard of some of these kids here. Like, no chance. And through studying there for 3 years, I started to find my feet, became confident. I was like, I know why I'm good now. Do you know what I mean? I know why you guys are good, but I know what my kind of selling points are. I know what makes me Ady. Do you know what I mean?
Well, did you have like a go-to warm-up or something that you guys had to do? Because my friend, she went to drama school. I know it's like different, but she was like, before like getting on stage, she had to like, so you have to read a page, but you have to read a page with your tongue out, and you have to go like, I don't know why you have to do that. Can you tell me why she had to do that?
I don't know.
So
maybe
like open your voice.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's for diction or maybe pronunciation.
Did you have to do anything like that?
One where I had to say. I had to do. I don't even want to do it, bro.
You have to do that.
I had to do my mum, mama's up and down, but I had to stick my tongue out at the same time.
There we go. That's what she had to do.
So I think it was to do with pronunciation. But I always do warm ups, like even now for shows and stuff. Some of the techniques they taught me there, just to more conditioning the voice and looking after it, because essentially that's your instrument. So
yeah.
it's not they don't teach you how to songwrite or teach you how to, whatever, be
It's
on
just
stage
to
and
deliver.
stuff. But it's how to look after your craft and how to kind of develop it and stuff. So
Gotcha.
very useful.
So can I
tips.
ask, if you didn't go to LIVPA and you didn't go down the arts kind of road, and you had the choice, or you were forced to go back to uni, which course would you do?
That's so annoying, right? Because the only reason I went to LIVPA was or did music is because there wasn't anything else that I thought I was good enough to do. But if I was bright enough or whatever, had the grades to go on and do something, I would have loved to have done English.
Okay.
I think philosophy would have been really interesting as well. But realistically, I would have done art.
Okay,
I would have
lovely.
got an art foundation for sure.
Fab. Okay, so now the train keeps moving, and now we're at our third stop. You've left LIVPA, and I want to know how it is that you became the amazing Ady Suleiman, because you featured on the Social Experiments album Surf alongside Chance the Rapper and Erykah Badu. You've opened for Leon Bridges and Liana Havas, is that right?
Yeah.
Yep. And you've been hailed by Joey Badass saying, "This kid is another lane." That is so freaking cool.
So far it's been really dope, man, and I've had the pleasure to work with some wicked people and support some amazing artists. How it all happened was, it's pretty simple, really. You just when I was in my second year, I obviously thought, as soon as this university goes, I'm going to have nothing. And obviously within the arts, degrees, in all kind of courses, degrees only get you really so far. Like, it's not really, you don't get a job solely in the degree. It's about your kind of determination, your graft or whatever, and going out and doing things yourself. So when I got to second year, I thought I need to go out there and start doing gigs outside of Liverpool. And I was thinking, when I'm not in Liverpool, where am I going to be? I'm probably going to be in Nottingham. Let me check out the scene back there. One of my friends was doing music back at home, and Nottingham was just in an amazing place, and still is now, for in terms of bringing through new artists. And I did a gig over there, and I just got a really positive reaction. And everyone in the kind of media over there, a guy called Dean Jackson, who was running BBC Radio Nottingham, put me on the the uploader, so that got me into BBC, and then eventually got into One Extra, started getting shows in London, and then you're putting videos out online, you got your demos out, and eventually you just one thing leads to another. It's like, if you start the ball rolling and do one gig, someone sees it, like, do you want to do a gig for me over here, or do you want to do that? Or someone gives you an interview, they hear it, they're like, oh, we want to get him in for an interview. And you just kind of carry on doing stuff, and then eventually industry heard about me. I sorted out my management,
and it all just
lawyers,
came together.
and all just kind of fall into place. I'm still learning about it, though. Do you know what I mean? I'm still on it. I'm still kind of doing it and still on the journey. So
well, you're doing an amazing job, can I just say?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, so now we arrive at the busiest stop, and I'm going to say it's Oxford Circus, because lots going on, lots of people bustling about. This is the point in the journey when things really start to heat up, and this is the part where we're talking about your new single and name of your EP. What's the score?
Yeah.
So, Ady, what's the score? Do people say that a lot to you, that joke?
That's probably the first time I've heard it, actually, so congratulations on that one.
Woohoo! God, I thought everyone would be doing that.
Right.
Right, okay, so what's the score? Because, this was premiered on Mr. Jam's Inbox Fresh List, and everyone is just going crazy about it. So tell me how the tune came about, because I also heard that you freestyle your songs, and you kind of freestyle over a tune. Did you do that to create your music? Is that what you did for this song?
Yeah, for this one, this actually came about, it's a song I've had for ages. I think I wrote it when I was at university, ages ago.
Okay.
And the concept, is pretty straightforward. I was kind of linking up with a girl, and I wanted to know if she liked me or not. What's the score? What's going on? So that's where the concept came from. And I wrote it was actually my flatmate, Edward Black, who's my guitarist, and he was jamming these chords in the in the kitchen, in the living room, and that. And I was like, "Yo, bro, are you going to use them?" Do you know what I mean? Because he's a songwriter as well. And he's like, "Oh no, man, it's not. It's not my style." And I was like, "Oh, can you teach me?" And then he, taught me the basics of these chords, and then I started to scat, freestyle some melodies over it, and put the rest of the chords together, and kind of made the song, and eventually put lyrics in. And then What's the Score kind of came. It's been like, I've gigged it ever since I've done my first gig. It's always been there. So it's like one of the very early songs, and it's taken a long time for me to put it out, but at the same time, the right time.
And you have Joey Badass on the track.
Yeah, that was crazy, man.
That is
honest,
crazy.
That was really
How did
crazy.
that link up happen? Because I love Joey Badass. I'm still banging out that Christ Conscious. Gets me every time.
No, he's a wicked dude, and I've always been a massive fan of his. It came about, really quite naturally. Unfortunately, I didn't get to work with him one-on-one in the studio, which would would have been ideal. But when I was working with a social experiment out in LA, he used to work in the same studio, and he came in. He had a session after one of my sessions, and I was, I think some of my music was still playing, and the engineer was over, tidying it all up, and he came in, and apparently he said to the engineer, he was like, "Who is this guy, man? I want it on my iPod, or I want it on my, my MacBook or whatever," and I was going crazy about this song that I'd written, and the next day I went into the studio, engineer was telling me this, and I didn't believe him. I was like, LA, Hollywood, America. I was like, you're exaggerating. I was just like, no way, man, that's not true. Like. And then I was, scrolling through Twitter, and I saw him tweet one of my lyrics.
Okay.
And then because of that, I was like, said to the engineer, I've got to do a session with him when I'm out here, blah, blah, blah. So I tried to make contact with him when I was over in America. But sadly, he was quite busy. I was obviously had a lot of plans.
But hey,
as well.
You still got him on the track,
yeah,
so I'd say that's
came
pretty
back
groovy.
To England, I watched the score for it. I wanted a feature on it, and Joe was the first person that came to mind. Reached out to him, and he was.
And it all worked out.
He said, yeah. So it's.
Fab.
Wicked that you got
No,
it.
he definitely makes it, proper. It's cool. Yeah. It's cool. So I need to talk about the video with you. So where was that set, and who is the mysterious girl in the video?
I get this all the time, man. But it's in Barcelona.
Okay,
we shot it in Barcelona, but the girl is a family friend that I've known for ages.
Oh, okay. So not
Georgia.
A girlfriend, just
no, I've got a girlfriend.
Okay.
I've got a girlfriend, but she couldn't make it. She was.
Darn it!
I know, she was busy working, so everyone's talking to me saying, "I was like, you go." I'm like, no. But yeah, no, she couldn't make it, so I took Georgie, who was up for the challenge.
Well, no, it definitely all looked fab. I mean, I think your kind of fun personality really comes through in this video.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, like, especially the bit where you guys at the end, you got the guitar and you're vibing and you're singing. Like, I kind of feel like I'm right there with you, like I'm your friend. Oh gosh, why am I such a loser? But it's true.
Honestly, that is like, for me, that's what I really wanted to get across in the video.
Of course.
So I'm glad that you got that from me.
Exactly. So if you guys have not seen the video, Ady Suleiman featuring Dre Badass, what's the score? Must check it out. So let's talk about your new EP, because that's also called What's the Score. And following from your debut EP, This Is My EP, love the name by the way, which really popularised you as an artist and made you stand out. It was bigged up by Beat, Hunger TV and Lines of Best Fit. I mean, how is this EP different? Like, what can we expect from it?
How is this EP different?
Yeah, from your last one.
I mean, it's it's a similar kind of formula. I haven't. I think I'm constantly developing as an artist, and hopefully the audience is coming on that journey. So hopefully the songwriting's getting a little bit better, and the topics are changing. Also, from a recording perspective, I'm spending more time in the studio, so I'm developing my sound more on record. With the first EP, it was a great job, but essentially one of the first times I've been in a proper studio to kind of record my own stuff, and this time I kind of knew how I wanted to do it. It was a lot quicker to get this EP out, because I knew how I wanted it to be done. And What's the Scores on there, which is more, it's a kind of happy, upbeat kind of song.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's got definitely more of a mix on there, but to be honest, very similar kind of vibe to the first one. I haven't
more
switched up too
grown
much.
you.
I like to think so, yeah. I like to think so.
Fab.
Yeah.
And I also saw that you said you did 15 shows in 5 days.
Yeah. That was last week.
Was that last week?
Gone, yeah.
Oh my goodness! And you also did Ady Suleiman's coffee house session tour.
Yeah, that was part of it.
That was part of it. Because that sounds fantastic. I mean,
it was crazy.
You must have consumed a lot of coffee there. You must have been buzzing.
No, I didn't have one. You didn't have one
cup of coffee on the Ady Suleiman coffee tour.
I didn't. No, I had tea. I stuck to tea.
Oh, okay, that's
herbal
all right.
tea is good for my voice, and coffee always sends me a bit nuts, to be honest.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
have a caffeine
Had to chill it out. But it was all good. Must have been crazy.
Yeah, no, it was wicked. It was. We went around a load of universities all around the UK, and we ended up doing 23 shows in 10 days.
Wow.
So it's it was a great experience. It's the first time I've done kind of touring back to back, so it was a good experience for me to kind of see what it's like. And I think the best thing about it was, usually when you do kind of shows in a normal venue, you disappear off backstage, and you're lucky if you catch some of the crowd when you walking to jump in the van or whatnot. But with this one, you're playing, the crowd's right there. So as soon as you come off, there's that awkward moment where you're like, yo, how's it going? But you get to communicate with the fans and with people, and get to hear some kind of direct feedback. And it was really great to hear how many people actually been following me from a while back. And at the same time, new people that just discovered me. I was like, yo, I never heard you. So I think that's what I really enjoyed about it, was kind of interacting with people.
Okay, cool. And what I want to know, because I want to get to know the real Ady. So let's say the train has now pulled up and it's setting off again. You have a day and a night until the train leaves again.
I've got a day and a night.
Day and a night. Saturday night. Let's say it's a Saturday. So tell me what it is that you're doing, your ideal day and night.
My ideal day and night? Ideally, I would love to, catch up with my friends. They probably won't be free, but go find a lot of my friends from back home that I haven't seen for a while, and I don't know, get a flight somewhere in Europe and go have a night out over there, or they invite me to a party, or in the day I'll play football 100%.
Okay.
Try to get a five-a-side little football game going, and I don't catch my family as well, have a nice meal with them. Yeah, and disappear with friends.
Okay. So, we need to wrap it up now. So we're coming towards the end of the train journey, and we see all the stops that we have in front of you. I want to know, what stops would you like to stop at? In other words, what plans do you have in the future? Where would you like to go? Do you have one major long-time goal? Is this like a
bucket list thing? Or?
Yeah, something that you like to do, like to see yourself.
I'd love to play in Jules Holland. You know? I think that's definitely in the back of my head is something I'd love to tick off. The Pyramid stage at Glastonbury would be a dream come true if I could play that. But kind of in the immediate future, it's really to get an album that I'm really happy with and sell out the headline tour, which is coming up in November. That would be a great achievement if I could do that. There's lots of things, man, but it's weird because
I'm sure you'll get there, because you're doing good right now.
Yeah, thank you. But it's you kind of focus on what's immediately ahead of you. It's, once I tick those off, then I'll move on to the next one. But
fabulous.
There's loads,
So do you tweet, Snapchat or Insta or anything? Can you tell us where we can find you on social media?
Sure, yeah, you can. I'm on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, and it's just Ady Suleiman, which is my name, so Ady Suleiman.
Cool.
So yeah.
Well, Ady, I'm very, very excited for you. I mean, you have just been a fab guest. I mean, with everything you've got going on, I'm very, very excited for all the new stuff you have going for us.
Thank you
so thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So, guys, thank you guys so much for boarding the Ady Suleiman train. A big thanks to our amazing train driver / amazing artist, Ady Suleiman.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
I'm Amika Ezer, coming from the Media2Radio team, and what a fab guy. Love him.